You've seen both ants and grasshoppers. Oh, okay, lucky for you. Now tell me, what kind of animals are they? Are they mammals or insects? They're insects. Okay. What do we know about how many legs insects have? How many legs do insects have? 4? 4? 6? 8? 6? More? Oh, wow. 20? 14? More than 2. Okay, I agree, more than 2, but it's not any number, it's a specific number. An insect has a specific number of legs. Do you know what that is? Choose one number, only one number. Can't be many numbers. Okay, this is a test. How many? Only choose one answer. How many legs does an insect have? 6. 1 leg? You're crazy, man. You're really crazy. You told me you saw grasshoppers. Do they have only 1 leg? I don't think so. Okay, so insects have 6 legs. Right, that's an insect. That's one of the definitions of an insect. Yeah. How about you? You have 6 legs also? No? Not today. How many legs do you have? 2. You have 2 and you also have 2 arms. Okay, so when we talk about insects, we say they have 6 legs and we do not distinguish between legs and arms. Which one's bigger, a grasshopper or an ant? Grasshopper. Of course, a grasshopper. Now, I want you to look at this word grasshopper. Grass. Okay, so when we look at the word in spelling, we see G-R-A-S-S, grass. Grass. So the first syllable is grass. Grass. Now, I heard some of you saying shopper. It's not shopper. It is hopper. 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 Hop. Okay, you know what it means to hop? All right? Okay, so if you hop, then you are a hopper. And if you're color green and you have 6 legs, you are a grasshopper. Got it? Okay, so be careful. Don't say grasshopper. Say grasshopper. Right, with a h sound. Right? Grasshopper. Grasshopper. How many syllables do you hear in this word? Grasshopper. 3. 3. All right, let's clap it. Grasshopper. All right, put down your pencils and your mirror because you don't want to break your mirror right now. You just want to have your hands together. Clap like this. Grasshopper. 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 Good. Can you hear the stress? Is it on the first or the second or the third syllable? There are 3 syllables and the stress is on the first syllable. Grasshopper. Okay, now, see my body? Grasshopper. Grasshopper. You try it. Grasshopper. Grasshopper. Good, because we don't want to say grasshopper. That's not correct. We don't want to say grasshopper. That's not correct either. We want to say grasshopper. So we go up on the first syllable, right? Let's try it. Grasshopper. 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 Good. Okay. So that's the name of the second one is ant. How many syllables are in the word ant? Ant. 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 Just one. Just one. Now, if we clap one time per syllable, we would say the grasshopper and the ant. 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 And actually, more than one ant, we say for plural, we say ants. Now, last Monday, we practiced a game with all of the s and z and is endings, right? We talked about 1 bat, 2 bats, 1 card, 2 cards, 1 dog, 2 dogs. Right. Okay, so we have many ants in this story. The grasshopper and the ants. The grasshopper and the ants. Okay, so in this story, the grasshopper and the ants, there are some sound focuses that we're going to preview. All right, so we are going to learn. This is what we are going to study in this lesson. Syllables. We're going to learn what are syllables, how do we identify syllables, how do we feel syllables. And the second thing is on stressed syllables. Which syllable is stressed? What are the qualities? what are the characteristics of a stressed syllable? How can we identify the stressed syllable in a word? The next one is unstressed syllables and reduced vowels. So unstressed is the opposite of stressed. If we understand stressed, let's look at the opposite, which is unstressed. And we'll also talk about the vowel quality. The next one we'll talk about is contractions. So contractions are when we have two words in writing and then we put them together, take out something, and put apostrophe in between. And it affects the way we pronounce the words. And the last item, the last sound focus we'll learn in this chapter is called phrase reductions. Phrase reductions. So a phrase means two or more words that are used together. And sometimes when we take these two words, we reduce a sound somewhere in the middle. We put the two words together and we make a difference in sound. So we'll talk about syllables, stressed syllables, unstressed syllables and reduced vowels, contractions, and phrase reductions in this lesson. Now, before we study those, we're going to hear a story. But before we hear the story, we're going to look at the vocabulary. So now let's look at the vocabulary focus. I asked you to complete each of these sentences with a word or phrase from the list, right? And you should use the sentence context and a dictionary to help you. And sometimes you need to change nouns and verbs to appropriate forms. For example, ant, if it's singular, don't put an S. But if it's plural, then put an S and say ants. All right, so the first one is done for you, and that is a grasshopper is an insect that can jump high and make a sharp noise by rubbing parts of its body together, right? So a grasshopper. Let's say that one. A grasshopper is an insect that can jump high and make a sharp noise. Look at my mouth. Sharp. Sharp. Noise. Make a sharp noise. By rubbing parts of its body together. All right, now let's say the whole sentence. A grasshopper is an insect that can jump high and make a sharp noise by rubbing parts of its body together. Okay, how about let's do this. Let's look at the words here. I'll pronounce each one, and you can hold your mirror right next to you, like this. Hold your mirror like this. Don't put your mirror down, but hold it up so that you can, if I move one way or another, you can also follow me with your mirror. So don't look this way, that way, but this way. Look right into your mirror. So first, please look at me and listen. And second, look at your mirror and repeat. All right? So first, look at the teacher and listen. Look and listen. What are you going to look at? Look at my mouth. You can look at my hair too, but best look at my mouth because then you can compare when you look at your mouth. All right? So you'll have to learn to move your eyes up and down. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a try. Ant. Now some of you are doing this. You're just looking at me. You're going, ant. You're not even looking at your mirror. So don't forget to listen to me say ant and then look at yourself and say ant. Okay, let's try that. You look at me and listen, then look at your mirror and repeat. Ant.
Ant.
Ant. You're doing a lot better now. Ant. Beautiful. Beautiful. Cloudy. Enjoy. Finally.
Finally.
Gaze.
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 Grasshopper.
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 Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Reply.
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 Right.
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 Starving.
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 Store.
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 Suffer.
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 Summer.
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 Good. How's your mouth feeling? Feels okay? A little bit tired. Well, that's normal. That's normal. If you feel a little bit tired, that shows me that your mouth is moving in a new way. That's a good thing, right? If your mouth doesn't feel tired, that means your mouth is moving in the same old way. And you're not going to change your pronunciation that way. So you need to change the way you move your mouth. That's a good thing. You want to rest a little bit? Okay. So one of the things you can do is go like this. Stretch your mouth, go, ah, ah, ah. Stretch it, okay? Now look in your mirror. Ah, 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 oh, good. That's good. It's good to yawn. It's good to yawn. It's good to stretch your jaw. It's good to stretch your lips. All right, now let's go back to the vocabulary, okay? All right. So our second sentence is, is a small insect living on the ground and famous for hard work. Which one is that?
Ant.
Ant. Good. Let's say the sentence. An ant. An ant. Is an insect. Oh, I forgot the word small. Is a small insect. Good. An ant is a small insect. Living on the ground. And famous for hard work. Good, good. Okay, I would like to make sure I can see every one of my friends' lips. So some lips I cannot see because those lips are on some faces that are behind somebody else. So you need to move so I can see you. All right? Can I see you? Say hello. Good. Now I want to hear you and I want to be able to see you. Don't hide. You know, Juan has a nice big head, but don't hide behind it. Make sure you move yourself a little bit so we can see each other. Okay? All right, great. The third one, is a supply. What's the word? A store is a supply. Right. A store is a supply. Yes. Of course, the word store has more than one meaning. You can go to the store to buy something. But you can also have a store of food or a store of supplies for your office. You have things that you bought and you put away, or you collected and you put away, and you're going to use them when you need to, but you don't need to use them right now. To store is a verb, and a store is a noun. And a storage room, storage, can be used as an adjective. It can also be used as a noun. But here we say a store is a supply. All right, number 4, to be means to be very, very hungry. Starving. Starving. Right, okay. So when you say this word, Tick, you need to borrow my mirror? You don't have a mirror? Oh, okay. Harsh, get this for him. Thank you. Take it back to him. Thanks a lot. Okay, so say the word again, And open your mouth a little bit more for star, star. And then lower lip against the upper teeth, ving. Starving. Right, to be starving. Now, it comes from the verb to starve. When you starve, the first meaning is that you die because you don't have enough food. That's the literal meaning. The figurative meaning is that you feel like you're going to die because you don't have enough food. So it's just a feeling. So it means very, very hungry, to be starving.
Starving.
Right. Let's say that again. To be starving means to be very, very hungry.
To be starving means to be very, very hungry.
Okay, let's do number 5. To what means to answer? Reply. Yeah, to reply means to answer. For example, if I send you an email, which button do you click when you want to write back to me? Reply. Right. That's right. All right, let's say pop, 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 pop. Put your lips together. Ply. Reply. To reply means to answer. All right. Do you notice that the word answer has a silent letter? The W, you write the W, but you don't pronounce it. All right, so you hear the S, but we don't hear the W, right? So answer. Answer. Right. Okay, so reply means to answer. Let's do number 6. Which word means to look steadily? Gaze. To gaze means to look steadily. For example, suppose you see a beautiful sunset. Ah, gorgeous, beautiful sunset. And you want to look at it for a long time and enjoy it and appreciate it. Then you can say gaze, to gaze. So usually when you look steadily at something that you're interested in, you enjoy, you appreciate, you think is good looking, you can use the word gaze. So you know the word look with your eyes. This is a very general word, and we can look in many different ways. Gaze is one of the ways we can look at something, especially when we look at it for a long time and we appreciate it, we like it, we enjoy it. All right, let's say the word gaze. Gaze. At the end, do you hear the voiceless zzz? Do you hear that? Feel it in your throat? Zzz. Gaze. 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 To gaze means to look steadily.
To gaze means to look steadily.
Okay, number 7. Which word means to like?
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Yes, enjoy. To enjoy means to like.
Means to like.
Yes, do you enjoy coming to class?
Yes.
Do you enjoy watching movies?
Yes.
Do you enjoy dancing?
Yes.
Do you enjoy singing?
Yes.
Do you enjoy doing homework? Some of you say yes and some of you say you don't. You don't enjoy? Sometimes. Sometimes you enjoy doing homework. Okay, good. Yes, there are things that we do that we enjoy, and there are things that we do even though we don't particularly enjoy them, but we do it because we know we get some benefit from it, right? Okay, let's look at the next one. What is the word that means a privilege? A right. Very good. A right. A right means a privilege. For example, I'm a U.S. citizen, so I can vote in elections. I have the right to vote. It's a privilege that we American citizens can vote in, for example, American presidential elections, which we're going to do soon. How about a student body? You all belong to the student body, and in April you will have a chance to vote. Did you know that? All members of the student body have a chance to vote for officers of the associated student body, president and vice president, treasurer, and so forth. And you also vote for your best teacher and things like that. I can't vote. I don't have the right, or I don't have this privilege. If I'm not a student, I can't vote. But you are, so you have that right. All right? Let's say a right. Means a privilege.
It means a privilege.
Number 9, which word means at last?
Finally.
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 Right. The word final means the last one. And finally is also last, because this word finally and the word last can also be used as adverbs. Final, adjective. Finally, adverb. Last can be both adjective and adverb. Oh, I've been waiting and waiting for our ESL 950 class to start so I can improve my pronunciation. And finally, I get to study in this class for the next few months. And my chance is here. Okay, let's look at number 10. What's the opposite of sunny? Cloudy. 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 Right. So cloud, the noun, add y, and get cloudy. Sun, we look at the sun. If the sun is out, we can say the day is a sunny day. How about today? Cloudy, a little bit cloudy, a little, especially in the morning. We can say overcast. Do you know overcast? Do you know this word? Over, O-V-E-R-C-A-S-T, overcast. So that means that even though the sun is shining, there's a bit of mist or fog or clouds in the sky, so you can't see the sun shining brightly. Then it's overcast. Cloudy, sometimes even if it's cloudy, you can see parts of the sky, but you can see the shapes of the clouds. Okay, let's look at the next word. What's the opposite of ugly? Beautiful. 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 How many syllables do you hear in this word? Beautiful. 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 3 syllables, right, 3 syllables. Okay, so look in your mirror. Do you see your beautiful mouth? Do you see your beautiful smile? Good, that's right. Okay, let's look at the word number 12. What's the opposite of winter? Summer. Summer. Right, summer. Watch me. Summer or summer? Summer. Right, very good. Do you like summer? Yes. You do? Why do you like summer? Oh, you have vacation. Okay, yeah. Or no school. All right, so you can have fun. All right, how about the next one? What's the opposite of recover? Suffer. 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 If you suffer an illness, if you suffer some pain, if you suffer a disease, then you get better. You recover from it. Then your health comes back. So maybe somebody is not present tonight. Somebody is absent because she's suffering from the flu. And she hopes to recover quickly, recover her health quickly, and come back to class. The last word, what's the opposite of ignore? Pay attention. Pay attention, right, right. So for example, maybe someone walks into the room right now and waves at me and wants to talk to me, but I am busy talking to you. I'm giving you my lecture and I don't pay attention. I know that person is there, but I ignore that person for now because you are more important to me than that stranger walking in. I don't pay attention. I ignore that person. But then later at break time, I go, okay, now I can talk to you. So ignore means you know it's there or you know someone is there, but you don't pay attention to it. Any question about the vocabulary? All right. How about let's look at the next one. Let's look at the picture focus. In this picture, what do you see? Right, you see grasshopper and the ants. How many ants do you see? 5. You see 5? Yes. 5 ants? And is it phi or 5? 5. Phi or 5? 5. Okay, some of you are telling me phi, and it's not phi. What am I missing? Phi? Okay, look in your mirror now. Don't say phi, say 5. 5. Look at your mirror and say it 5 times. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. That's more than 5 times, but I think some of you need to practice it 55 times. Okay, so don't say 5, say 5. Right. All right, so what are the ants doing? They're carrying, looks like they're carrying some food. They're carrying some packages. It's a little bit like a cartoon, so they probably don't usually carry their food in bundles like this illustration, but it represents food, yes. Have you ever seen ants carrying things on their back? Have you? What have you seen them carrying? Rice, yes. Grass? Bread? What else have you seen them carrying? Have you ever popcorn? Have you ever seen ants carrying something bigger than their body?
Yeah.
Yes, me too. I've seen them carrying leaves
Yeah.
that are very big. Yeah, they chop off part of it and then they carry it. I've seen them, and the leaves are much bigger. They're very tall, but they're able to carry them. Right? You've seen that? Uh-huh. How about in your kitchen? Are they carrying away your pots and pans? Maybe not. Okay, and how about the grasshopper? Describe the grasshopper's clothing. What do you see the grasshopper wearing? What is the grasshopper wearing? A scarf, right. What kind of a scarf? For decoration or for warmth? For decoration or for warmth? What kind? Do you think? This scarf? Do you think this scarf is for decoration or for warmth? Let's have a vote. Raise your hand if you think this scarf is for decoration. Okay? Raise your hand if you think this scarf is for warmth. Most of you are voting that the scarf is for warmth, but maybe it's very beautiful, so it's also for decoration. It looks like it might be the kind, I would think it looks like the kind that's for warmth, because I see some other indications that it might be cold. Do you see any other indications that it might be cold? Okay, so do you see how the grasshopper is holding his hands like this? What happens when you're cold? Do you ever do this? Yeah. Show me how when you're cold. What do you do this? Yeah. Yeah, do you ever shiver? Do you ever shiver? And then you put your hands like that just to try to keep warm? Okay, so that's another indication that the grasshopper might be cold. Do you see anything else that might indicate it's cold? What else do you see? What else shows you that it's cold? What else do you see that it's cold? Okay, you see over here, looks like, does that look like wind? Does it look like wind? The wind is blowing? Yeah, you think so? Okay. What about some little marks above on the side of the head? Do you see any marks on the side of the head? That might feel like, it might look like some motion, like shivering. Okay. And what is he wearing? Like a jacket, right? Okay. What about the jacket? Can you describe that jacket? It's an old jacket. Okay, why do you think it's an old jacket? What's an indication of an old jacket? On the what do we call this part? Elbows. Yeah, these are the elbows. On the elbows of the, what do we call this part of the jacket? What do we call this? Sleeves. Right. How do you spell sleeves? S-L-E-E-V-E-S. Sleeves. Okay, write it down. Write it down. Write down the vocabulary. S-L-E-E-V-E-S. Sleeves. All right, so on the elbows, how do you spell elbow? E-L-B-O-W-S. Right, elbow or elbows, right? So on the elbows, what do you see? On each elbow, you see a patch. Right, how do you spell patch? P-A-T-C-H. P-A-T-C-H. And you pronounce this word patch. 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 When do we usually put a patch on our clothes? When it's old? And when it's torn. Torn, right, torn. How do you spell torn? T-O-R-N. Torn comes from what verb? Tear. Tear. How do you spell tear? T-E-A-R. When you tear your clothing, or you can tear paper, right? You can tear something. Tear, tore, torn. Just like wear, wore, worn. And bear, bore, born. Those three words have the same pattern for irregular verbs. So if it's torn, a part of your clothing's torn, you can put a patch over it so that you can still wear it. So maybe it's old because lots of times when we wear something for a long time, we get tears. What's another word for a tear? A tear. Starts with an R. It has the same meaning. Yes, rip. How do you spell rip? R-I-P. Right, R-I-P. No, not R-I-P-E. That's ripe. For example, when you want to pick the fruit from the trees when they're ripe. But this one is rip. So rip and tear have the same meaning. Both of them are verbs, to tear, to rip. Tear is irregular. Tear, tore, torn. Rip is regular. Rip, ripped, ripped. And both of them can be used as a noun. I have a rip in my jacket. I have a tear in my jacket. Now, another thing that can develop is, instead of a rip or a tear, what else can develop? A hole. A hole. How do you spell hole? H-O-L-E. How do you pronounce it? Hole. All right. Look at your mirror. Look at the tongue. Hole. 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 So there's a patch over a hole, or a rip, or a tear. Okay, good. And what is the grasshopper holding in one of his hands? What is he holding? He's holding a cap or a cup? A cap or a cup? A cup or a cap? A cup. A cup, not a cap. A cap is something you wear on your head. A cup is something you use to drink. Okay. Why is the grasshopper holding a cup? He's cold and he wants something warm to drink. Okay, that's a possible answer. Can you think of another reason he might have a cup in his hand?
Soup.
No.
Soup instead of what? Yeah, right. You can use it for soup. So it could be something hot like soup, hot water, coffee, tea, something hot to drink. All right. Another possibility is maybe the cup. So you think the cup is full?
No.
You think the cup is empty or full? What do you think? If the cup is empty, what do you think he's doing? He wants something from the ants. Ah. And so he puts the cup out because he wants something from the ants. If the cup is empty and he holds it out like this, what do you call this action? I want something. What is it called? Demand? That's a good verb. That's a good verb. But there's another verb that means, I don't have any and you have something, please. What do you call that? Yes, beg. How do you spell the word beg? B-E-G. Beg. All right, look in your mirror and say beg. Beg. Begging. B-E-G. All right? Begging. The grasshopper is begging. So do you think the grasshopper is begging for hot soup? We don't know what he's begging for. Maybe he's not picky. Maybe he's not picky. You know the word picky? Do you know what picky means? What does that mean? What did we say? The grasshopper is not picky. I asked you, is he begging for soup? And I said, well, maybe the grasshopper is not picky. What does that mean?
He can eat whatever.
Right, he can eat whatever you give him. If you give him soup or you give him coffee or you give him noodles, anything he'll take. Right, he's not picky. He won't say, oh, I don't want soup, I want noodles. Oh, I don't want tea, I want coffee. That would be picky, right? Are you picky? Do some of you feel like you're picky when you eat? You pick this, but you don't push that one. Sometimes? Yeah, sometimes. Okay. All right, so what do we call a person who begs? A beggar. And do you know how to spell this word? B-E-G-G-G-G. Oh, not too many G's. Okay. B-E-G-G-A-R. Yeah, this word is different from the others. Most of them have ER, like teach, teacher, right? Farm, farmer. But some have AR endings, and this one is an AR ending. So write it down, B-E-G-G-A-R. We pronounce it the same way. At the end, if we have ER, teacher, farmer, or we have AR, beggar, dollar, sugar, or we have OR, professor, instructor, doctor, same pronunciation, Can you look at your mirror? Beggar, beggar, beggar. Okay, so the grasshopper and the ants is the name of a story, of a fable. And it was written by Aesop, a Greek fable writer of the late 6th century BC. Do you know what a fable is? Fable, you know this word fable? What is a fable? It's a kind of a story. Is it true or untrue? It's not true, right. It's just fiction. It's a story, but it's not true. And a fable is a special kind of a story because it has a purpose. It teaches a lesson, and we call the lesson a moral. The moral of the story, the moral of the fable means the lesson. Why do we tell this story? Because it teaches a kind of a lesson. So in a fable, animals usually speak, you know? It's not about people. It says it's an animal. So here we have grasshopper, and then we have ants. And they usually speak and act like human beings, right? They act and they speak like human beings. But they're not human. The stories don't have human beings. They're always some kind of animals. Now, fables are passed down from generation to generation. So from your grandfather to your fathers, and your fathers to your children, and you to your children, and them to their grandchildren, and so forth and so on. All right? Because they have morals or lessons that are timeless. Right? They don't, they're not stuck in the old days. The morals are timeless. That means no matter what generation, the lesson is true anytime. So as they relate to human behavior in general, Aesop's fables are known around the world. So, these stories were not written in English to begin with. They were written in what language? What language were they written in?
The animal.
In animal language? That's a nice idea. But Aesop was a fable writer. So what language do you think he wrote in? If he used his native language, what language? Greek. Greek. G-R-E-E-K. Greek. Greek describes the language and the person from where? What's the name of the country? No, Greek is not the name of the country. The name of the country is Greece. There's our map over there. Greece is in the Mediterranean Sea. Do you know where Greece is? Raise your hand if you know where Greece is located. Okay, run over there and show us. Okay? The capital is Athens. Athens. Okay. Can you see it? Yeah, you're getting close. Higher, north, left, a little bit up there, a little bit up there. Yeah, good, very good, good. Okay, so she's showing on the map Greece. So we say the country G-R-E-E-C-E. Write it down. How do you spell it? G-R-E-E-C-E. How do you pronounce it? Greece. Good. And the language is called Greek. Greek. And the person is Greek. All right. So these fables have been translated into many different languages. Maybe you've heard it in your language too. Look at page 3 now. Look at page 3. And on page 3 you'll see what? Listening, comprehension. How many items do you have?
6.
6. And they're multiple choice, aren't they? So there are 4 choices, A, B, C, and D. All right, so you're going to listen to the story, and I'm going to tell you the story. You listen to the story. I'll tell you what, the first time, just listen to the story without looking at your book at all right? And you can just think of how much you understand, because I'm sure the story is not difficult for you. And then I'll tell you the story the second time, and you can look at the questions and try to answer them. Yeah, so don't write anything right now. Don't write anything right. Just concentrate on listening to and enjoying the story. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, look at me. Look at me. And listen to me tell you the story of the grasshopper and the ants. On a beautiful sunny winter day, some ants had their winter store of food out to dry. A grasshopper came by and gazed hungrily at the food. As the ants paid no attention to him, he finally said, "Won't you please give me something to eat? I'm starving." "Didn't you store away food last summer for use now?" asked the ants. "No," replied the grasshopper. "I was too busy enjoying myself and dancing and singing." "Well then," said the ants, "live this winter on your dancing and singing, as we live on what we did. No one has a right to play all the time, or he'll have to suffer for it." That's the end of the story. Is it easy?
Easy.
Easy. Nice? Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Look at page 3, and this time when I tell you the story, make a circle around A, B, C, or D. Okay? You're on page 3 with your listening comprehension, right? Okay. Here's the story again. The grasshopper and the ants. On a beautiful sunny winter day, some ants had their winter store of food out to dry. A grasshopper came by and gazed hungrily at the food. As the ants paid no attention to him, he finally said, "Won't you please give me something to eat? I'm starving." "Didn't you store away food last summer for use now?" asked the ants. "No," replied the grasshopper. "I was too busy enjoying myself and dancing and singing." "Well then," said the ants, "live this winter on your dancing and singing, as we live on what we did. No one has a right to play all the time, or he'll have to suffer for it." Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to look over your items 1 through